great day, Attractive Thinker. We are so delighted to be back with you. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. We come here and we show up every single week to give you the tools that you need to keep your fire lit, to help you overcome those breaks, because we all have them, be it a break in a pattern or a heartbreak or a disappointment or even a success. When you accomplish a success, that's a break in who you used to be and now who you currently are. So how do you show up now after this success? So that's a break as well. Living life beyond a break calls for a totally new identity. And today we're going to be talking about something that's really intriguing. I want to introduce my business partner, my co-host, Tishette Bradshaw, the visual encourager, who's going to really take us into this topic that we're talking about today. Welcome to Tishette to another episode of Beyond the Break.
Hello, everybody. Happy Mindset Monday. It's such a great day to be alive. We get another day to do what we've never done, to go where we've never gone before. And today we got a special treat for you because we all want answered prayer. So today we're going to be talking about coming right up. When you pray and you put things in the atmosphere, you want to trust and believe that it is going to be answered and it is going to be favorable and it's going to work out. You know, it's going to benefit not just you, but everybody around you. So you have been declaring and decreeing some things, and we are here to tell you it is established in your life. We are so excited to be able to walk this journey and know that all things work together for the good. So the question is, do you trust? Do you have as much trust in God and as much trust in, you know, your prayers that you do when you go to, say, a Krispy Kreme, right? So I was reading this book, Asking It Is Given, from Esther Hitt. And one of the things that I really admire from the book is the steps that she gives towards law of attraction. But my rendition of it, in the way that I understand it as visual encourager, I have to have things placed or set a certain way so that I can see how it connects to life. So today, I wanted to share with you what I got from it. So when you go into a Krispy Kreme, right, say you're hungry. First of all, when you acknowledge that you're hungry, that is okay. That's like you acknowledging what's going on. You see what's going on all around the world. You see all these different things taking place. It lets you know, your body is signaling to you that, hey, I am hungry for something. So if you're going through stuff in life and you see all kinds of things going on, your body, your mind, your spirit is signaling you, hey, I am hungry. I'm hungry for peace. I'm hungry for change. I'm hungry for love. I am hungry. When you get that hunger, do you know where to go to get it? Do you know who to turn to when you are hungry? Do you know where to stand when you are ready to go and place in your order? So for me, that book was a blessing to me because she talks about step one when you're in a season of asking. That's like, to me, standing up in the Krispy Kreme line and you're placing your order. You see the menu, you see all the options and opportunities that is far above, greater than you can expect. You see all the things you want, you see the things you want and the things you don't want. So you stand in line and you tell the cashier, hey, this is what I want. I want a chocolate glazed donut with sprinkles, right? You're specific about the things that you want and the things that you desire. You stand in there and you tell them that you want. Now you go to step two, which is you trusting and believing that God is doing all that he said he was going to do. You put the prayer out there, you declare and decree a thing. Now it's time for you to trust that it is established in your life. So you're standing there, you're excited, you're waiting, that sure tastes delicious. You're expecting that it's going to have everything you want and dream and desire. Your expectation is increasing. The minute by minute that you're waiting patiently, you're expecting it to be all that to be and more and warm. You know it's going to meet that expectation. It's just making you hungrier and hungrier, you know. So after you get to the place where you know that you placed the order and you're trusted, you know God is behind the scenes working on your blessing. He's working on your plan. He heard your cries. He heard your prayers. He heard your desires. And now you're trusted. So after you're right in the middle of trusting, now you got to go and stand in the receiving, which is her step 3. You got to receive. Asking it is given. You have to believe that it's given to you. So you stand in the Krispy Kreme line, and you're holding your box open. You know that it's coming down towards you because you are attracting that thing that you said you wanted. You're attracting it to you. You're not chasing it. You're not going to the bag and just going to pick out your stuff. It's coming to you now. You're standing in a receptive line and you are receiving. And then she talks about step 4, when we are enjoying the things that we receive. We are enjoying the blessing that we once stood in line to order, that we once believed that we could have. We are enjoying it, and we're excited, and it was just delicious, you know. And then step 5 is knowing that if you happen to go hungry again, you're not feeling bad about yourself. You're not beating yourself up for being hungry again, because you know where to go, you know who to pray to, and you're trusting. So the cycle starts all over again. So that was just such a blessing that I got from it. So that's why we titled today, Coming Right Up. Your answered prayer is coming right up. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
Wow, Tishette, I am so enjoying this message. And attractive thinkers, I want you to have your attractive thinker notebook out. I am Dr. Toni Hatton, by the way. I was so excited. I didn't even introduce myself, but you probably know me by now. Dr. Toni Hatton, CEO and founder of The Attractive Thinker at theattractivethinker.guru. Today, we're talking about coming right up. What are we talking about? Your order, your desire, that thing that you put out into the world, that thing you ask God for, that thing that you keep talking about. It's coming right up. I want you to think about what Tishette just shared with us about the ordering process and how it just flowed. It was flawless. You know, when you put an order in at a restaurant, you don't expect for it to come to the table like not like you ordered it, or you don't expect for it to come to the table burnt. You don't expect for it to come to the table with flaws, or you don't expect to get carrots when you order broccoli. When you put an order in, you expect to get exactly what you ordered. You don't even think about it. You're laughing, you're talking with your family and friends, and the waiter comes in, may I take your order? You say, oh, sure. I'd like this and that and the other, and I'd like it this way. And if you have this, I like that. And you expect that order to come exactly the way you placed it. And in life, you know, we enter into some turbulence and some blocks and some resistance when we place our order. So we have to figure out what that is. What is that, and why is that? Why is it when I go to a restaurant and I place an order, I don't have all of these blocks and all of these issues and all of these reservations and all of these contrary thoughts, like, you know, when your order come out, it's not going to come out right. You know that, right? Yeah, that's what you ordered. That's what you really want, but you know, it's something gonna be wrong with it. You know how it always happens. Something's always wrong with something when you order it. You know, things don't ever come to you the way you want them. Does that ever happen to you in a restaurant? Think about that, attractive thinker. That is very, very rare, unless you're willfully going to a restaurant where you know that they do not have good service, they do not deliver, your order never comes up the way that it's supposed to. And then you know, my question to you will be, why would you go back? Because we have a tendency to go where we're served, where we're valued, where we know things are going to come out right, especially if, you know, even if it's in a casual event, but if it's a special occasion, or if it's just you and you want to, you know, spend some quiet time with yourself, you go to a place where you know you're going to be served well, where you know your request is going to be granted. That's another thing. Request granted, attractive thinker. Your request has been granted. Just like when you go to the store. Think about this. When you could be home, or you could be on your way home from a business meeting, or flying in town, or whatever, and you have your mind on something. You said, when the plane lands, I'm going to get such and such. Or when I get to the store, I'm going to get such and such. Or the next time I go to the market, I'm going to get such and such. And there's no resistance. There's no resistance. There's no thoughts that come up and say, well, you can't afford that milk, or you know you that milk is not good for you. You know this and that and the other, or they don't that you know that store is not going to have the kind of milk you want, or you know that milk is going to be rotten. Nothing comes up. When you make a grocery list, I mean, think about it for Thanksgiving. You're making your grocery list. No resistance comes up. The only thing that comes up is the things that you want from the market to make your recipes, right? And which markets are you going to go to get them? You know exactly which markets you're going to go to get them. So where is all this resistance coming up at when we start putting in requests for ourselves because it's a different venue? See, the store and the supermarket and on the restaurant, they're all physical entities that we can see. But when you make a request, make a demand on a desire of your heart, that's an intangible, that's an invisible merchant. That's an invisible merchant where you're getting your resources from. You put in your request, like Tishette said, you make it plain. Be clear about it. When you go to Krispy Kreme, you don't just say, oh, just give me a dozen of donuts, because if you just say that, a dozen donuts, they're going to say, well, what kind? See, now we're at Track and Think, we're getting into the details of your desire. It's not enough to say, I want to move, or I want money, or I want to be successful. Can you imagine now how broad that is and how difficult that would be to make your request the way you want it? Because there are other details involved that will really make this experience fulfilling to you that you haven't given voice to yet. If I go to a restaurant and I say, I'm hungry, feed me, they don't know what to give me. They don't know what I like. What if I'm allergic to seafood? They don't know. So you have to be detailed. I would like the salmon with the broccoli and the salad. And then they'll say, well, what kind of salad? And even if you order a salad, they'll say, well, what kind of dressing do you want? If you order salmon, they'll say, well, do you like it medium or well or rare? Or, there are details, attractive thinker, that you have to make known. And the only way we really get into sharing the details to share is if we believe that the request will be granted. If we believe that the order is coming right up. That's the only way you're going to take the time to give those kinds of details. If I go into Krispy Kreme and I say, I'd like an order, or I say, I'm hungry, feed me. They have a lot of things to choose from. That's not their responsibility. Let's get into that. It's not their responsibility to determine what you want. That's your responsibility. You have to make your request known and be clear, because only you know what you want. Other people might have an idea of what they think you want, but what they think may not satisfy you. It's only what you really want that's going to satisfy you. So you have to make your request known with detail. So if you want to be successful, sorry, that's not enough. That request can't be granted because you're not detailed enough. What do you mean you want to be successful? Have you defined what success is for you? Because what success is for me is different than what success is for you. Be specific and don't be afraid to be specific. So you go there and you say, I'd like some donuts. They say, okay, I need more. Every time they say what kind or which one, that means you're not detailed enough. Every single time they say, okay, well, what kind? And then you say, well, I'd like 3 chocolate, 2 honey dip, 3 sprinkles, 1 apple fritter, and maybe 3, I don't know if that's 12, but maybe 3 sour cream donuts. And they say, sure, okay, they can do that. That request can be made. They understand that. So could it be, Tishette, that because we aren't detailed enough, God, the universe, our spirit, our resources, the vortex, whatever your truth is, does not understand the communication. You're not given the order properly. They don't understand what it is that you want. Could that be the reason that the delay exists? Is that we're not specific enough? Are we afraid to say it like we really want it? Are we afraid to ask for what we really want? I mean, how many times have your child come to you and ask for something and they say, well, no, and you can tell they holding back. They said, well, never mind. You said, no, 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 no. What is it? Just say it. Whatever it is, just say it. Don't hold back. So could that be the reason for the delay, is that we're afraid to ask for what we really want? And then you have to ask yourself, what is that fear about? What are you afraid of? If a child is asking a parent for something, why would they be afraid? What do you think is going to happen if you ask for what you really want? What do you think the consequences or the repercussions are going to be? Um, can you think of a better outcome? Can you think of a great outcome? What's the best that can happen versus what's the worst that can happen? Back to you, Tasha.
It really is. I believe that it really is all in how you wait. Rather you're waiting patiently, rather you're excited. It is in the being after you pray. It is in the trusting after you pray. That makes the biggest difference in the world. Because the thing is when you go to a Krispy Kreme and you put your order in, and do you ever go in the back and say, did you put enough flour in there? That's a drip right there. Is that going to go in there? That's not enough sugar in there. That's not enough salt in there. Are you going to do that? How frustrated would you be with that? But when we go to a restaurant, and you talked about when you sit in a restaurant and you place your order, after that waiter takes that order back, we're enjoying each other's company. We're talking about other things. We are strategizing about stuff. Some of us might be doing business meetings. We might be just enjoying listening to each other's day. We're enjoying being while we're waiting, but we have that expectation and that excitement all the way in us and that knowing that we will receive the favorable outcome. We know it's going to be delicious. The thing about prayer and answered prayer is that the outcome sometimes is greater than what you expected it to be. That's the awesome thing about God, is that he will do exceedingly and abundantly above all you could ask or think, according to the power that works within you. So when you are sending a prayer, now after you say that prayer, you're not going to tell him how to do his job. That's his business. The how is God's business. He's letting you in on the desire, but the how is his business. It is your job to just be in trust, be in faith, allow yourself to have no resistance, and just be excited, knowing that it's coming, having that faith. We heard mustard seed faith can move mountains. You just have to have just a little bit of faith can move mountains, can move your prayer through. Having that excitement, not trying to control and manipulate how God wants to have it done. He's going to have it his way. He's going to do it his way. He set up this system. It is your job to wait and trust and know that it's going to be delicious, that you're going to receive all that you've required, because while you were ordering, you were putting in your prayer, you were seeing what you wanted. You were also saying what you don't want, which showed you what you wanted. And understanding that those desires came out of your body signaling you that this is what you want. Your body felt a signal saying, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for something. I want something. Your body said, oh, I got a taste for. And you started to who do you think put those desires in you? Who do you think made you or told you, you know what, let's go to this Krispy Kreme over here, or let's go to this restaurant over here. They have a really good, you seem to think that things are a coincidence if you don't know who put that in you, if you think that that's just you. So you're desiring something, you're placing your order, now you're waiting and trusting and believing, because the power of your waiting is what makes the difference in your outcome. Because I guarantee you, if you go to a restaurant, if you go to a Krispy Kreme and you back there trying to tell them how to cook, and you back there trying to tell them, did you put enough salt? No, I don't think you did that. And you got an attitude, you will not be getting what you asked for. Almost certain you will not be getting what you asked for. Because when the power of your waiting is the patience, is having the patience. and the joy while waiting, the trusting. How frustrated would you be if you are a mom, right? How frustrated would you be if you knew your child was hungry? You know your child is outside playing, flipping, and having a good time with his friends. You know that they're depleting their energy, that they're going to need to recover when they got back. You have gave birth to this child. You have watched this child take their first breath. By now, you know their routine. You know what they need by now, right? So your child comes in the house. Your child runs up to you. I'm hungry. You know your child was hungry. You know it's dinner time. You knew that you was going to fix for dinner. So you tell your child, okay, I'm going to fix you dinner. How frustrated would you be when that child come in and say, Ma, are you going to put those onions in there like you did? Are you going to, I don't think you're going to put enough onions. Are you going to put the salt and pepper? You're murmuring and complaining before the dinner gets cooked. You're murmuring and complaining before the prayer gets answered. How frustrated would you be as a mom? Or would you be so excited to see your child go, okay, and trust and go on about being a child while you prepare that meal, you prepare that dinner, you prepare that table for them? You know, how excited would you be to serve them, knowing that they trusted you and knowing that you're doing your absolute best to give them what they need and also what you know they need. You're giving them the proper nutrition, you're giving them taste, you're giving them smells, you're giving them, you know, a nice presentation. You're giving them your very best because this is your child that you brought forth. This is the one you have called forth. So you know what they need before they ask. When they come to you and say, I'm hungry, this is nothing new because you know that's your blood that's in you. That's your breath that's in them. So you know what they need. So when we are waiting, we need to be that of like a child, just trusting and believing with a childlike faith, trusting and believing that God has given us his very best. He's not just throwing anything together. You know, he's given us his very best, and he is excited to see us stand there in a receiving mode with no resistance, in a receiving mode. We're not getting to the point where he serves us the plate. We go, you know what? I don't deserve this. I don't think I should eat that. You sure I can have all this? Are you sure I don't really deserve this? You know, I haven't been the perfect person, you know, in the majority of my life. And you start counting up all the mistakes you made when God trying to serve you your answer prayer. You don't give him back your limitations and your disabilities. You don't give him back that. You give him back gratitude. Thank you so much for all that you've done for me. Thank you so much that you considered me while making this. You're giving gratitude. You're in a spirit of gratitude and you are enjoying that which he has given. And then you ever get so excited about what's given to you that you go and tell somebody else, you got to come taste it. You start inviting people. You got to come taste this. Come and see what thus the Lord have done for me. Come and see this answer prayer. Come and see what I have requested and how hot and piping this is. This was good and ready. You are receiving and you are glad and rejoiceful. And then the next time breakfast, lunch, or dinner come, you excited again because you trust more and more. It is in the trusting that determines how your outcome is. When you have that mustard seed faith, you have to have that trust and that belief. That faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen, meaning you haven't got it yet, but you got evidence that it's coming. So you just got hope for that thing. You know that there's substance. That's that faith. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
That's good. That's good. All the way around, Tichette. That's good. Now, attractive thinkers, I know that you guys are probably running around your room right now, but I want you to understand, so we're going to break this up for you so that we can give you the practical application of what you're hearing. Now, we talked about the smooth process of placing that order at a restaurant, right? And then we talked about how resistance is on the line when you place that order in your life for a desire that you have. So let us give you some attractive thinker tools that you can use to handle that resistance in real life, in your life, with the desires that you have for your personal life. So when you go to put forth that desire, when you go to speak that desire, you say, I want this, or I'm going to acquire this, or I desire to have this, and you write down that goal. Sometimes it's difficult to discern what part is within my control and what part is out of my control. See, when it comes down, let's say a kid runs in the house and says, Mom, I'm hungry. So they automatically know they can't cook, See, I thought about that to Chet when you brought up this scenario about we don't go in the back of the restaurant and start trying to help them fix food and say, no, pick that plate up, put it over here. Oh, go turn the salmon over before it burns. We don't go back. That's out of our lead. That is out of our control, out of our scope of, out of our reach, so to speak. So we don't get involved in that, because if we get involved in that, we mess up the whole kitchen. We get people angry. We get put out. You don't need to be involved in that. So we need to know our limitations and know our boundaries when it comes down to making a request. So what part is in your control and what part is not in your control? Number one, make the request without the resistance. And when resistance comes up, you want to capture that resistance, because I guarantee you it's no new resistance. It's the same old resistance that's been blocking you in all the other areas of your life. No new resistance. So you want to capture it. How do you capture it? Write it down. What did you hear? What did it say? You put in a request. You said, I want my financially free dream home. Or you said, I want a luxury SUV. Or you said, I want to travel the world, or whatever it might be. And as soon as you said that, what did you hear? What did you feel? How did you feel about that request? Did you feel joyful or did you feel sad? Did you feel excited or were you reserved? Did you feel that kind of low, stagnant, kind of dragging energy? You know what it feels like to be excited. Did you feel that total excitement feeling? And if you did not, then you want to write that down. What did you feel? How did it feel to say, I want a financially free dream home? How did it feel to say, I want a thriving business? How did it feel to say, I want to be in love? How did it feel to say, I want to have children, or I want twins? You don't just want a child, but you want twins, and you want identical twins, and you want them to be girls. See, that's very specific. That goes deeper than just I want a baby. No, tell the truth. You want twins. Tell the truth. You want them to be identical twin girls. You want them to look exactly alike. Tell the truth. Give all the details, because that's the only way. One of the things that I've learned, Attractive Thinker, is the only way that I'm going to get the desires of my heart is if I am showing up as my true self, my true authentic self. You know why I say that? Because everything that is already assigned to your life, all the successes and accomplishments that are assigned to your life, they're assigned to the true you. They're not assigned to the imitation of you. They're not assigned to that life that we end up living that doesn't reflect us. Our riches and our wealth and our success and our joy and happiness is not assigned to an imitation of us, an imposter. It's assigned to who we really are. And if we're not living who we really are, we're reaching and grabbing outside of ourselves for the things that we know we deserve, but they're only assigned to the true you. So if you're not showing up as a true you, who's showing up for you? You're showing up as an imposter, and an imposter doesn't get to partake in your blessings. The blessings were not assigned to the imposter. They were assigned to the authentic you. So in order for you to have the desires of your heart, you got to be true with yourself. You got to be real with yourself. There used to be a show, will the real McCoy stand up, or will the real such and such stand up, or will somebody please tell the truth? Who's the authentic one? Where's the real you, Attractive Thinker? Are you showing people who you really are? The deepest parts of you, the deep desires. Are you living from your truth, your core? That's where the blessings come. So when you're living your true self, you're no longer reaching outside of yourself trying to grab things. You're now attracting them with ease. I want you to think about this for a moment. A person who really doesn't even like Krispy Kreme donuts, would you find them in Krispy Kreme? You wouldn't even find them in there. Because if they walk in there, what are they going to order when they really don't even like donuts? What are they going to order? They're out of order. They're out of place. They don't fit. It doesn't work for them. There's going to be a lot of resistance. No matter what donut the lady or the gentleman offers, they're not going to want it because they don't even like donuts. So how many times have we showed up as imposters in our lives, don't even like what's going on, but we're trying to make it work? How are we going to be happy surrounded by things that make us sad? Where is the happiness going to come from? So in placing your order, you got to be true with yourself. And when that resistance comes up, when you speak your truth and write down that real goal and that resistance comes up, capture it, write it down and look at it. Is it true? See, these are attractive thinker tools. Most people don't, they go towards their dream or pursue their dream without the right tools. As soon as they hit resistance, they're done because they don't know how to overcome the resistance. As soon as they hit a roadblock, they're out. Oh, never mind. I don't want that goal. Never mind. I don't have to have that dream because they don't have what it takes to overcome the blocks and the resistance and the force and the challenges and the things that will rise up to oppose you and keep you from crossing over, from acquiring, from giving birth to your dreams. But now you have tools. So write down your real goals, attractive thinker, and then listen. Write down your goals and then go back to the first goal. Read it to yourself. What do you feel about it? Does it feel real? Does it feel right? Do you feel resistance? Is there some sadness that comes on, a sad emotion that comes along with that great idea? So you want to capture that, write that down, and then look at it and figure it out. Is it true? And if it's not true, so for example, you might say, well, I want to travel the world. And then you hear a voice say, yeah, right. You're not going to travel the world. Nobody in your family's ever traveled the world. Travel the world for what? You're not even equipped. You don't even like flying. You hear those voices, so you have to ask yourself, is that true? Am I not capable of flying the world, traveling the world? Is that true? And you know it's not true because people have done it many times over in our lifetime and even before, and we'll do it after our lifetime. So that's not a true statement. It is possible for you to travel the world. So you scratch that off the list, and then you write a sentence next to that thing that you captured. You're not going to travel the world. You say, I am going to travel the world, and I'm going to enjoy it, and it's going to be fantastic and amazing. And every time you hear that voice, that contrary voice or thought that is working against the real desires of your heart, you now have a tool. Open your mouth and use your tool. Speak against that. Speak the truth. Yes, I am going to travel the world. So when you have these tools, use them, and you have to use them regularly every single day. Don't get lazy. It's just like getting lazy with brushing your teeth. What do you think is going to happen to your teeth if you don't brush them? What do you think is going to happen to your mind if you just let it go and let it run rampant and you don't have your mental tools in place and you're not, managing your mindset, sticking to your goals, keeping your goals ever before you? Think about that, attractive thinker. That's how you manifest. That's how you accomplish and acquire. That's how you reach your goal. That's how you get your desires fulfilled. There's a process to it, and you have to be committed to it. You make a decision, and you have to be committed to it, and you be determined that you're going to blast whatever obstacle comes your way, whatever comes in your experience to try and challenge you, because your mind is already made up, and your order is being served. It has come to the forefront, and it's time. You're ready. Back to you, Tishette.
It is time. It is so time. I'm like sitting here thinking, where does that resistance come from? It comes from us accepting opinions. It comes from people planting wheat seeds. So when you have that resistance after you done placed your order, you have to uproot those weeds in order to reset your mind, in order to have the mindset that you need to go forward, to go where you want to go. You have to uproot those weeds. I imagine that what it must be like to have the resistance is like going into the restaurant or the Krispy Kreme, taking your order and then getting frustrated and say, you know what, I'm out of here. They're not going to cook it. They're not going to fix it. I'm out of here. I'm going outside. I'm out of here. Your all that negative energy that you had going on that caused you to walk out before that manifestation, where did that come from? And how many things, some of us are on the break, right on the breakthrough line, and we get ready to turn around and head back right to the beginning again. We want to go in the order line and complain. We did not stay there and have patience and trust and believe, because your emotions let you know where your beliefs stand. When you have sad emotions and you feel that sense of disconnect with your higher self, and you feel like that hope is going down, that emotion right there is telling you you don't believe, because never in a million years have I ever put my hand on an answer prayer and go, I ain't never gonna get it. Where does that go for? How does that go? You know? So when you have those emotions that's causing that frustration, look deep into that. You know, where does that resistance come from? Where did you pick that up from? Was that a learned behavior? Are you accustomed to not getting what you want? Are you watching everybody else who don't know how to wait patiently or have trust in God, and you see that they're not getting them, so now you don't believe for yourself? Where is the root of this resistance? Where is the root of that thing you are denying yourself? Where are you becoming so ungrateful in the process of waiting? You know, and how do you shift from becoming ungrateful to a spirit of gratitude? You start learning how to believe in trust, such as how I explained with Krispy Kreme. It takes me to paint visualization for me to understand what is fully going on here. It takes me to really paint a picture so that I can make sure that I'm clear on how I'm supposed to wait, as opposed to somebody just telling me, oh, just pray and just wait. You know, when somebody just say empty, when they say on a surface level, just pray about it and just wait, and you like, okay. You know, sometimes you need that connection to it. You need that visualization that will help you connect to it. You need that energy, that life into it. You can't just be something and not be plugged in. You have to be plugged in order to get that electricity. So the visualization is my form of plugging in, so that you can have that connection, so that you can be in alignment to wait the way you're waiting, but understand that it's coming right up. It is on the way. I'm going to stand here. I am going to wait. That is God's timing. I don't know how long it takes to make the donuts. All I know is that I'm going to wait here until my order is ready. You know, we are accustomed to peeking. You know how you try to peek around the corner. You say, is it ready? Is it ready? Now, that's anticipation. It's when you just like, it ain't gonna never get here. Can y'all hurry up that you get in the way of your blessing? Because at this point, even if it came, I wouldn't even want it, because the way that I waited and the way that I showed up, it's just not even gonna be, you know, in the love that it should have been had I been in the spirit of gratitude. So we have to really get deep down into ourselves and assess where this resistance is coming from. What is blocking us from our blessing? What are we saying to ourselves? What are we believing? What are we doing? You know, some of us get so accustomed to doing that we forget how to be. What are you being in a process that's making you do? Because if you're being frustrated, you're going to do in the frustration, and you're not going to get what you're asking for. But if you are being in gratitude, you're grateful, you're alive, you're feeling uplifted and encouraged, you're excited, anticipation, your expectation is coming up and up and up, and you're standing in that line, and you can only imagine how that first taste is going to take. All of those create an emotion for you. You imagine what those emotions, this is what you have to be in order for you to go and receive that, because that emotion will attract the thing that emotion attracts. So if you don't believe me, have you ever had gone throughout a day, not really paying attention, had one thing go on, you're not paying attention, you're not being intentional, you're just living through life reacting. You have one bad experience, one negative experience that happened. You take that one negative experience and you go, oh, if it rains, it pours. See, this is why I can't. You go through a list of complaints and murmuring, complaining, and all of a sudden, everything behind that becomes just one big blur, one big bad day, because you started being in that frustration, because you didn't set yourself up with your mental breakfast to let you know that things don't happen to you, they're happening for you. You played the victim role at that first sign of negativity, and then you put that negative mindset on, a negative costume on, and you started being magnetic to things that was negative. People were being negative, things were being negative, you were getting negative outcomes. This didn't even work out. That's why when it rains, it pours, as opposed to knowing this happens for me. I felt the drip. Oh, I got tools. I have an umbrella. I don't have to get caught in the rain, but I can enjoy the rain because it's cleansing. You know that it's happening for you. you. And when it's happening for you, you're in gratitude, you're thankful because you know it all serves a purpose. And like Dr. Toni said last week, unfavorable plus favorable equals favorable. You know that even if it rains, it's working out in your favor. So you are enjoying and having a great time in that rain. And now having that costume on of negativity and attracting negative things, you're positive because you had your tools ready. You're attracting positivity. So for you, for the victors, it doesn't pour every time it rains. It cleans when it rains. It's necessary when it rains. And the rain is not permanent, it's temporary. And I'm not going to sit here and get depressed over temporary circumstances because I understand this is not a permanent. I'm not drowning because I trust God who said he is not going to drown us out anymore. But I know that the rain is necessary to water my seed so that I can end up bearing fruit for the harvest time for where I plant the seed. It's all in how you see it and how you wait and not being frustrated in the waiting. Where did you pick that up from? You know, it didn't just pop up. It's not just, weeds don't just pop up. They start as seeds as well. Did you know the difference when they got planted, when those words were spoken to you, when you were taught that one thing? Did you know the difference? Was that a weed flower or a seed flower? When it starts to sprout and you know what you're looking for, you say, that don't look right. That's not right. You got to uproot that thing so that you don't go through your life resistance, missing your blessing, walking out right at the brink of a breakthrough. You know,
That's true.
we all
Like
deserve what we ask for. We all deserve it. Your prayers deserve to be answered. So that's how I connect things. I have to use visualizations.
Yeah, we all deserve what we desire. I want you to write that down, attractive thinker. I deserve what I desire. Those are your desires. If you can't have what you desire, then what else would satisfy? What else is the purpose? What is the point? What else would satisfy? If we cannot if we don't deserve what we desire, then are we living just to settle for any old thing? Are you willing to just live the rest of your life having things that are the imitation of what you really want? We actually do deserve what we desire. You don't want your whole life to be full of things that don't even satisfy, don't have meaning to you, they don't bring fulfillment. Certain things that have meaning to me may not have meaning to you. The things that have meaning to you may mean nothing to me. You deserve to have what means something to you. That's unique to you, attractive thinker. You don't owe anybody an explanation for the things that you desire that bring you joy. So when Tashette said, you asked the question, you said, where does that resistance come from? And attractive thinkers, we're going to close with this. I want you to understand something. That resistance comes from the default mechanism inside of us. By default, you wake up, in default mode, not feeling so fantastic and amazing. There are things that you may have to do as an attractive thinker to get your vibration up, get your energy up, bring your joy back every single day, because you don't wake up with your breath smelling fresh. If you did, you wouldn't have to brush your teeth. You don't wake up with your breath smelling fresh and your teeth clean and your mouth feeling fresh. You have to do that every single day. So it's the same thing with your mind, because if you don't manage and master your mind on a daily basis, you wake up in default mode. And default mode is, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve, I'm not worthy, this is not going to happen. Here we go again, another day of chasing, never acquiring. That's default. So you have to resist that default mechanism with those mental tools that we shared with you today, and use them, apply them, so that you can move those obstacles out of the way and your strong mindset can rise forth. Your positive mindset, your high vibration can come forth so that you can accomplish the things that you desire in your heart every single day. It takes work. And when I say work, I'm not looking, we hear the word work, we're like, I ain't work, man, that comes with a lot of effort. I'm not interested in that. But when I say work, I mean maintenance. I mean care. It takes care. You have to care about how you feel. You have to care about what you're thinking. You have to care about what's going on in your world. You have to care whether you accomplish your dreams and goals or not. You have to care about it. Just like we care for our children. We tie their shoe, we wipe their nose, we comb their hair. You have to do the same thing for your mindset. So Tashette, you asked the question, where does that resistance come from? It comes from our default, our subconscious mind. It comes from our programming. It comes from our memory, our reminder, because that's what the subconscious mind does. It reminds us of the past events, of the times where we didn't accomplish things. It reminds us of what's familiar to us. So this new desire that you have, you're not familiar with it. You don't even know what life is like after you accomplish it. You have an idea, you think you know, but you don't know because you haven't accomplished it yet. So your subconscious mind is just going to remind you of the things that you have experienced already. Remember last time you tried that and it didn't work. Remember last time you touched that and your finger got burned. You remember last time you were being all nice and helpful and they started talking about you. Your subconscious mind is going to remind you of all of that. So that's where the resistance comes from. It comes from inside of you. So this battle, this challenge, this back and forth is not about anything outside of you. It's you against you. Are you willing to express and step into another version of you and do away with the old version? Just let it go. You know, not stand in and consider the things of the past because you're taking it on a new path. So when we talk about coming right up, your order is coming right up. It never stopped coming. It never stopped coming. As soon as you placed the order, it was being prepared. It's coming right up. So like Tashette said, stand in line and refuse to get out that line. Don't you get out that line. Don't get out that line. Usually in a restaurant or in the store or wherever, when you get out the line, when you come back, you got to get in the back of the line. Don't get out that line. Stand firm with confident expectation that your order is coming right up and it's coming just the way you like it. Dr. Toni Hatton here, founder of The Attractive Thinker at theattractivethinker.guru, where we support you with mental tools for mental healing, mental strength, and mindset maintenance so that you can accomplish the desires of your heart. Tashette, tell our audience how they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. You can find me on my website at www.visualencouragement.com. We provide mental support for people who desire to lift the heaviness so that they can create a new vision for themselves. Go to my contact us page, put in your information, let me know how I can uplift you, encourage you, and enlighten you so that you can live a life of fulfillment. That is www.visualencouragement.com. See you soon.
Awesome. Attractive Thinkers, I want you to visit www.clarity.theattractivethinker.guru. Clarity.theattractivethinker.guru. There you will find an opportunity to get a session with me, to book a session with me and get some clarity on some things about maybe where to start, how to begin, or what kind of mental tools can you apply to specific situations that you're going through, or a specific goal, or what is your vision or your purpose, or whatever that might be, or how to accomplish, how to create something from the ground up, or how to discover something that is intangible. It may not be tangible. Book a clarity session and get crystal clear. I'll shine the light, turn the light on for you. Once the light is on, you'll be able to see where everything is, and you'll be able to go right to it. I trust that you have enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Stay tuned, click like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel because you don't want to miss the next episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Remember, our life's work, that's always to make your life better. It is not what you're going through, it's how you're doing it. Think attractively. And we'll see you soon.